Yeah, I think the problem with the team is they were playing in transition when he was out a lot more than before. Obviously, Franz Wagner also got hurt in that time span as well. And when you have an underutilized team, you got a lot of guys off the bench playing and your stars are missing time, that tends to make you want to increase the tempo, move up and down, play defense around the perimeter, and turn turnovers into points on fast breaks. We've kind of slowed down the game since these guys have come back because they're half-court set type players. But Franz does a better job of creating in a half-court set and has more confidence to go downhill than Paolo does, unless Paolo's hot, which, of course, if you're hot, you're just hot, you're going to do whatever you want. Yeah. But when he's not, and he's having a traditional type of game for him, he gets a little, I wouldn't say slow, but his ISO dependency and kind of working off one-on-ones on the elbow, which is kind of where we want him to be, it's just a little too much utilization there. I would much rather see us playing really heavy on the defense again, on the perimeter on the opposite side, and then moving in transition rather than slowing the game down too much to allow him or Franz to kind of create something, because we don't have the shooters for it. We just don't. Exactly. You know, Tristan Silva's nice, Caleb Houston's kind of slipping, but it's unfortunate because he is still the best player on the team and very young, very raw, but it's a lot like the Aaron Gordon situation when we brought him in from Arizona. You know, we kind of, at first, you know, you got to move in transition. He's got the alley-oops going, everything looks good. But then as his game developed to a point, we kind of just paused it and said, okay, well, let's run through him and see what we got here. But that's not his style. Not that Paolo doesn't have more game than Aaron did at that time, but at the same time, he's not a high consistent shooter. We're one of the worst three-point shooter teams in the league. He's one of the worst three-point shooter players in the league. And we really should have made a move at the break, you know, and I'm not saying, I know I mentioned De'Aaron Fox, trying to bring him in before, that wasn't going to happen, but any kind of guard that not necessarily needs to be a star scorer, but somebody who can take away the pressures. Like you look at Draymond on the Warriors when they were great, and they're starting to look a little better now. It's not about how much he scores or his ability to hit the three or anything like that. It was more so taking away the burdens to allow Steph and Klay just to be Steph and Klay. And I think right now, when Paolo's struggling to hit a deep shot, and Franz is struggling to get into the lane because we have, you know, we're missing Mo Wagner, and he's kind of one of your slashing players, it looks stagnant. And we're just trying to depend on the three ball. We're trying to depend on deep mid-range shots. And unless they're falling on a hot night, you get what happens against Cleveland, where you're down by 40 at home on national television. You know, and it's unfortunate because we have the young talent. It's just, you know, without Suggs, you know, Cole Anthony's hit and miss. We're just in a weird spot right now where we're slipping as other teams are starting to catch on.